Hey guys, you are in for a real treat. We're at the end of the day here at Hickory Creek Farms, and I was doing chores, as you can see by my mud boots. Just got done feeding the calves and the goats, and I was walking by our apple trees, and I heard something. I want you to listen really carefully and see if you can hear what I heard when I walked by these trees. Can you hear that buzzing sound? See if you can find what's making that buzzing sound. Can you find anything, Mr. Steve? See if you can zoom to one. Do you see what's making that noise? It's a bee, isn't it? This tree is an apple tree, and it's in full bloom here in the spring. And every time we have blooms on plants, that's when you see the bees, because bees are important. These blooms and the bees go together. Now, these are apple trees, but they don't have any apples on them yet. They just start out with these blooms and little leaves. This tree is full of blooms, and the blooms look like this. You see that? In the middle of a bloom, it's full of these tall things, and this tall thing has lots of little sticky things on it. If I rub my finger on it, and you can't really see it very well, but it has lots of sticky stuff on it called pollen. And somehow, in order to get an apple to grow, I've got to get some pollen from the middle of a flower here to another flower over here. All over, you've got to exchange pollen from one flower to another so an apple can start to grow. And these bees help do that. A bee will land in the middle of a flower, and he'll walk around in there for a little bit, and some of that pollen will stick to him, and he'll get tired of that flower, so he'll fly over to another flower, walk around in there for a bit, and some of that pollen will drop off his legs. He doesn't even know it, and will land in the middle of another flower, and that's what makes an apple start to grow. Isn't that cool? So sometimes we are afraid of bees, and we don't like bees at all. But if we didn't have bees, we would not have any fruit, like apples. And there's another fruit plant next to the apples that we're going to go take a look at and see if they have blooms on them too. Come with me. We have come over to this right here. Do you know what kind of a fruit that is growing? What kind of fruit do you think that will grow on these plants? On the ground, not on a tree. These are strawberry plants. Do you guys like strawberries? Oh, I love strawberries. My favorite fruit. Peaches and strawberries are my faves. If you take a look at these strawberry plants, you can see that they have blooms on them too in the spring. And these blooms are all over the strawberries. And we have to have the bees for them too, to pollinate the blooms so that strawberries can grow where the blooms are. Isn't that pretty? Let's see if it smells like a little bit. Not a whole lot though. But aren't they pretty? But really more than pretty, these blooms are important for the pollination of the plant so that strawberries can grow where the blooms are. Isn't that cool? So do you think bees are kind of important? You know they are. So next time you're afraid of bees, just leave them alone, and they'll probably leave you alone, and they'll perform a very important job, and that is pollinating the blooms on fruit trees so that we can have fruit to eat. And we say, "Thank you, Mr. Bee." Hey guys, be sure and like and subscribe so that we can catch more fun adventures at Hickory Creek Farms. Bye, see ya.